do a math lesson. So today in math class we will review single-digit subtraction that we learned yesterday. Learn how to subtract two-digit numbers using the hundreds chart, which is over there, and use different strategies to explain our answers. So I need one volunteer to read our objective of the day. Someone want to volunteer?
Students will be able to use the hundreds chart to compute the difference of two numbers.
Good, thank you. Okay. So yesterday we talked about what is subtraction. So can anyone tell me from what we did yesterday what they remember about subtraction? How do we define it?
I think it's like the difference of two numbers.
The difference, good. So when we're finding, we have two numbers and we're finding the difference between those two numbers. Good, and how is it different from addition? You've all done addition in the past.
Well, addition, your number gets larger, and in subtraction, your number gets smaller.
Okay, true. And how would you define addition? What term would you use? If you're finding the difference in subtraction, what are you finding in addition? We used the term the sum, good, or the total, good. Now yesterday, we did these problems, but the first one, everyone can see 9 minus 5. And yesterday, how did we do 9 minus 5? We had 9 marbles. And how did we take 9 minus 5? What did we do to some of the marbles? We did what?
Take away.
Good. So how would you say that? What would I do? How many marbles am I taking away? 5. Good. And then how many are we left with? 4. And then for this one, we had a word problem that said, Emily has 7 carrots on her plate. Emily eats 4 carrots. How many carrots are left on Emily's plate? So let's do, like we did yesterday, we do 7. And then what did we do? We crossed out 4. And then what? What did we say the difference was? 3. Okay. Now, today, we're going to use the hundreds chart. Okay, and this is a picture as is on the wall over there. And we're going to talk about patterns that you see on the hundreds chart. So when we used the hundreds chart for addition, we went over some patterns that we saw. So can anyone tell me one pattern that we saw when we were counting and doing addition on the hundreds chart? How many numbers does it go up in a row?
10.
Good, 10. And it increases by how many each number? 1. Good. And then if we're over at 10, or any number, and we go down 1 box, how many numbers did we just jump? 10. And is that the same for every number? From top to bottom? Good. Okay. Any other patterns that you see?
If you're counting by tens, 10, 20, 30, that's all the same color.
Okay, perfect. So it's all the same color. So this is one color, this is one color. Good. And sticking with 10 and 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Does anyone know what those numbers are called when we increase by 10? It's a difficult term. Those are called our landmark numbers. So when we're adding or subtracting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, all the numbers by 10 are our landmark numbers. It means it's easier for us to use when we're adding or subtracting. Okay. So now we're going to use these problems from yesterday. Okay? How would we put 9 minus 5 on the hundreds chart if we were just to count it quickly on the hundreds chart? What will we do first? What number will we try to find first? 9, okay. So we find 9. And then how many are we taking away? 5. So then if we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what number are we left with? 4. And what strategy did we use? How many numbers did we count by? 1. So we counted by ones. Is there any other way to do that? Could we count by a different number? Nicole?
You could start at 5 and count up to 9 and see how many you counted.
Good. You could start here and go to 9. And how many would you be counting then? Would it still be the same number?
It would be 4.
It would still be 4. Good. Okay. Okay. So now using a hundreds chart, let's do 30 minus 10. What would you do first if you were looking for 30 minus 10? Okay, you want to find 30? Okay. And then what could you do?
Subtract 10.
Okay, you want to do that by 1, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where do I go, up here or over here?
So 20.
20, 10. So we can count by ones to get that. Is there an easier way to get to?
You can go up 1,
You can go up 1 because what do we know about these numbers?
they go up by 10.
They go up by 10. Good. Okay. Now what about this one? This one's a little bit harder. 25 minus 11. So what should we do first?
You can subtract 10 first.
Okay,
So
so
we'll
we-
start at 25.
Okay, so we'll start at 25. Good. And you want to go?
You can go up 10.
Okay.
Up to, sorry, it's like back, but up
Okay.
to 15.
And then what?
And then you know that it's one more from 10, so you just go back 1.
Okay,
So
good.
11.
So you're going to do 10 minus 1. Okay, perfect. So we're going to go up 1 and over. Good. Anybody else have a different way you could do it? Could I start, if I start at 11 and I go to 25, can I do that? If I wanted to change it? And I start at 11 and I count how many to get to 25, would that still be a way to do it? What way would I be doing? What would I be doing to all the numbers? Adding them. Because we can use, just because it's subtraction doesn't mean you don't have to use addition. I know we talked about the difference of subtraction and addition in the beginning of the lesson, but do you think addition would be a good strategy to use? Okay. Why do you think it's a good strategy? Instead of just starting at 25 and going back to 11.
I feel like because it's not like it's not an easy number to just count and like subtract. Like 10, you could just go back, but 11 is kind of tricky, I think, maybe. So like you can just add from 11.
Okay, yes, because you guys are more comfortable with adding because you've done it so much, right? Subtraction's a little bit more difficult, and that's okay. You can use addition. Just because it says subtraction doesn't mean you don't have to change it. You can change it. It's okay. Okay. Now, let's do a word problem. Would someone like to read the word problem for us? Riel? Thank you.
David has 26 pencils. David lost 12 pencils. How many pencils does David have?
Okay, so we have 26 pencils and he lost 12 pencils. Okay, so I see a couple faces that are a little confused because we have a word problem, and that's okay. If I have 26, that's the first number they're giving us, and he lost 12 pencils, what should I write down? Minus what number?
12.
12? Does everybody agree? Okay. Good. Now how would I use a hundreds chart to figure this out? What number should I look for on the hundreds chart?
26.
Okay, you want to start with 26? We could do that. Okay, so I'm going to circle 26. And then I'm going to do what?
Count back 12.
Count by what? Ones? Okay, you want to count by ones? We could do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yep.
Gives us 14. Okay. That's one way to do it. Anybody else have a different way? Kelly?
You could jump up to 16,
Mm-hmm.
and that's 10.
Okay.
And then go back 2 more.
And then go back 2 more. Good. Is there another way we could do it?
I could start at 12 and count to 26.
Good. We could start at 12. And we can count to 26. How do you want to count to 26?
By ones.
By ones? Okay. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Does that give us the same answer? Good. And what did we use? What strategy did you use, Alexa?
Add addition.
Addition. Good. So the answer we all agree is what?
14 times
14.
14. Good. All right. Okay. Now, I want everyone to work in groups, and we're going to work on these 2 problems, okay? And you can use any strategy you want, and I'm going to pass out a hundreds chart for you to use at your desk. And you don't have to copy the whole problem in your notebook, but at least write down the numbers that we're using, okay? Okay. You're welcome. Thank you. Here you go.
Say that one. Oh, is this one?
Okay, think about on the hundreds chart what number you want to look for first, and what strategy you want to use to find the answer.